everyone. It's
Hi
the
everyone.
podcast.
No, hi everyone.
It's the podcast
It's a
that I'm
special.
not allowed to be a
No,
part
no,
of.
it's. Welcome back to the I Like Movies and Friends podcast.
Is that the name?
Yep. Yeah.
I thought it was Final Thoughts.
No, did you not watch the episode?
I did watch the
It was a
episode.
segment on the show.
It's.
This is so confusing.
Welcome to. Oh, Rocky's gonna be very annoying. We should rock more. But, anyways, welcome to the second or bonus episode of podcast. We have our only two listeners
To
of the
the
podcast.
second episode.
Now is our guest,
With your hosts.
Victor, and only
And
Victor.
Abby.
And
Okay.
sometimes Abby.
Anyways.
Welcome, everybody. I'm Victor.
Yeah, you know who I am. And we have our lovely guests.
Say hi.
Claire and Victor. Claire
No.
Wow,
No.
you got demoted.
It's not quite
You're not a
right.
guest anymore.
No, actually, he just got
Claire,
demoted from
Garrett.
host to guest.
Oh, that's true.
I'm just
Hi.
Hi.
What's your name?
Eric.
What do you mean? What? I just said his name.
I didn't hear it.
Okay,
Be
anyways.
redundant. Okay.
And Claire.
And I'm Claire.
Eric and Claire.
Mhm.
Oh my gosh.
Welcome.
They're our friends.
We were mentioned in the first episode.
It's
To
true.
prove that we're real, we're here.
They were mentioned.
Um,
They'll have the better
Shadows.
post-grad life than
yeah,
side
we
of
were
the
mentioned
forest.
as having
I'm
a better
having a great-
post-grad life, and I don't
I
know
think
if
I'm
that's
having an
real.
awesome post-grad life. What do you mean? I'm fine.
That's
I mean, my
convincing.
post-grad life's taking years off my life, so
Has it?
definitely.
And I'm paying hella taxes, so who's winning? Like,
Fair. Fair.
Everybody, today we're celebrating Abby's birthday.
woo, 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 woo.
I turned 30 years old.
She turned 23 on Friday, April 11th.
Oh well.
Woo! I'm gonna add some like
I'm just
birthday
outing
music
my real
here.
age.
I only ended up
Air
watching
horns.
like the first like couple minutes of it to make sure it's synced, and I will just add audio
Great.
afterwards.
It's gonna be perfect.
Exactly.
It'd be great.
A little dark right now. Sorry you're seeing our shadowy dark faces.
Anyways.
I'm gonna rewatch this and be like, why did we do this in the
I know,
dark?
It's fun to
I
watch
don't know.
yourself. It's weird.
It is fun.
To start things off, we went to Chili's
We did.
and
We did go to Chili's.
ate dinner to celebrate my birthday.
Yeah.
So fun.
Great birthday.
And
Yeah.
our ambulance pulled up to take
That
a
is
random lady.
true.
That
Someone
was
may have
cool.
gotten food poisoning. They're not dead, so everything's okay.
I
But
think
someone may
I
have
hope that they're
gotten-
not dead.
I don't think it was food poisoning. I don't know what happened, but
They got
everybody
some
was
kind of
really chill
reaction.
about
It
it.
looked like she was like fainted
Maybe
or
some
something.
Yeah.
maybe an allergic thing. I don't know. But today's episode is special because it's not about Abby's birthday.
Oh,
Okay.
It is about what happened during Abby's birthday celebration. Please, can you tell us what happened
Oh, no.
in the parking lot? Abby?
So, I spent my birthday and the weekend at my boyfriend's house. And as we were leaving Chili's, this esteemed lady over here looked at my car and was like, huh, what's this? And I'm like, what do you mean? And I go over to find a penis with a smiley face etched into my car.
It's not even like
Photo,
low key edge.
right here.
It's like keyed into the hood
Fully
of
keyed.
the car.
Into my
Yes.
car.
and not small either.
And it's not small.
Hey,
No.
at least it's happy.
It
At
was
least
ginormous.
it's happy.
At
It
least
had
like the
girth.
size of my head. So, that's cool. Happy birthday to me. That's fun.
And so we are here today to figure out who did it.
No, we're not.
We're gonna get to the
I
bottom
thought,
of the case.
yeah, I was brought here under the pretenses of solving a case.
Yeah, okay.
I believe
Sure.
clearly
There's all
Someone
the
here
members
did
of the
it.
building Podcast.
Yeah.
David.
Yeah.
we're renaming the podcast Claire Solves a Mystery.
So
Anyways,
Claire's
so
already-
I've been promoted to host.
I believe the suspects could be right across from us as we speak. To find out if they did it, we're gonna unpack their history with Abby today.
No,
And,
okay, that's okay.
Really get to
Anyways.
the bottom of who these people are.
But
It's
something
such a
got
great
etched in my
idea.
car.
Wonderful
of a
segue,
male
right?
gender.
Yes.
You see where I'm
Yeah,
going.
yeah.
Anyways,
I'm
so
here to support Victor.
Exactly.
you're supporting
See, Claire's
Victor.
Claire's a better co-host, right?
Oh.
Is
Oh,
Sis,
whoa,
you're
whoa, whoa,
fired.
never mind,
never
Yeah,
mind.
yeah.
Whoa.
she? Hello.
Do tell.
She's been on for 2 minutes.
Yeah,
She's already replaced you.
Apparently.
Now,
Hello.
Claire-
Yeah, what, Victor?
Claire,
What?
Claire is the person that's known you the longest, correct? Other than your Padres.
Other than myself, yes.
Yeah.
Other than myself, Claire has known me the longest.
I've
Out of
known
the
you a
four
very
of us.
long time.
Yeah, it's unfortunate, but
Dang. Okay.
That was brutal.
Jeez.
I'm saying it's unfortunate that you've known me, not the other way around. It's fine. Anyways, also,
But yeah.
I keep forgetting to close my phone.
Yes.
You can close your
Yeah, you
phone.
can just turn it in like sleep mode.
Mm.
But yes. But
So, what?
you tell, how did you meet?
I've known each other since
When did you start? 5th grade?
No, 3rd grade.
You started in 3rd?
Yeah,
Crazy.
I know. I've known Claire since we started playing volleyball together in 6th grade. And
6th grade.
fun fact for anyone watching this, we were in a musical in 4th grade.
No.
Wait, really?
no.
I didn't know that.
We were in a school musical in 4th grade, and it was about
She tells this
music
story, and I
throughout
don't
the
think it
ages.
happened because I have no recollection of this happening.
music throughout the ages. And I was a 60s backup dancer. And I
cannot
was,
see that.
what if you can't tell from my personality, I was the type of child that sang at the top of her lungs.
Do you got a picture of that? If you send me a picture of that, I will put it right
I
here.
don't really know. And I don't know if I
She's
want to
not
go
gonna
look
be
for it.
looking.
Yeah, I don't know if you want 4th grade you.
Yeah.
I don't want
Anyways.
4th grade me.
No.
So,
So I was a young child singing at the top of my lungs, and as I was getting off the stage, I remember Claire going, "Wow, nice singing," and I didn't even know her.
No.
I didn't even know her, and I was
Aw.
like, "This
Is
is
there-
rude."
Are you absolutely
Oh, I thought you
sure
were
it's
saying it
Claire?
was
I'm
sincere.
very positive.
Oh.
she's thinking I've said this sarcastically as a 4th grader, which I don't even know if I knew what sarcasm was at that point in my
I thought
life.
you did.
Wow,
sure you
I think
did.
you were born with it. I really do.
Sure you did.
But like, I have no recollection of that. All I remember from that little musical thing was that I was one of the people that spelled out disco.
Oh. What letter were you?
S. I think.
Yeah, it was a very weird play.
I
It didn't
see.
make
I
sense.
see.
No, it didn't make any sense.
It was the like stage for our pre-K through 8th grade school was in the gym.
Yeah.
There was no
Oh, a
auditorium.
cafegimatorium, if you will.
Yeah, but it wasn't the cafeteria.
Oh, just a gymatorium.
Just a gymatorium.
Got it. Gotcha.
Yeah.
Yep. And when like the whole school would come to see it, all of the students would sit on the floor.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
And when the parents saw it, it was like those crappy fold-out chairs, just all
Yeah, so they would put
a
it.
basketball hoop
they-
and with the gym with a stage behind it.
Yeah, they
That's
would
great.
put chairs out for the parents, but the students got the floor.
That's so
including like the 8th graders,
Yeah.
who were also
What the
forced to
hell?
watch 4th graders perform
Yep.
horrible musicals that weren't real. Like they're like, you can't look
That's
that up.
horrendous.
Like it's some yeah.
The only music productions I remember growing up, because we had like music class or whatever, like in elementary also. I have the most vague memory of being in like some kind of like general like 80s pop like musical, and I don't even know what songs we sang, honestly. We had like a Christmas show and stuff where it was like, I feel like the most generic ass, like Jingle Bells.
You mean your Christmas shows weren't the Nativity?
No, were yours?
Yeah.
Were you just straight up
I
reenacting the
played
Bible?
a woman in 3rd grade. I was
Sounds very
Simon's
difficult.
mother, and I had to open the play with being in the middle of this gymatorium, and
Oh right.
I had to run up and go, "Simon, has anyone seen my son, Simon?" As a 3rd grader.
For context, we went to Catholic school.
We did. We went to
So-
Catholic school.
This is why that's a thing.
They
I
wrote through the
also
plot
was
of Lady
in a
Bird.
play. This
For
was a
real.
school play. I was in a play with my like handbell / choir teacher about Jesus on the farm. And I think we were like chickens or something.
What?
Yeah.
You had to teach us specifically to teach you handbell.
Yeah, so
No
after
judgment, just
after
learning.
school, one of the after school activities was to do handbells,
It was put on by the church.
choir,
Also by the church.
and you could like be in like band kind of, but it was like church band. And I was like,
Church
handbells,
band.
because a lot
Also
of
by the
kids did
church.
handbells. Yeah, it was very
I
interesting.
see.
Anyways,
So,
Anyways, I've known Abby for over like 11 years.
so long.
So we got some shared history there, which means
So much.
A lot of moments where Abby could have wronged Claire. Which means Claire is
I'm
still.
not a horrible friend.
I feel like.
Hello.
Do you remember? Did you hit me in the face with a volleyball, or was that a coach?
That was Michael Irwin, and he hit me in the face so many times with a volleyball.
Irwin.
A great one.
Yeah, I love him. Love him. Shout out to him.
Shout out to Coach.
But definitely got hit in the head a lot of times.
Oh
Was
yeah.
it on purpose? Was it on accident? I don't know. Probably a little bit of both.
We'll circle back on the likelihood of Claire being the
Let's talk about how we met Eric Eaton.
Yes.
I
It's not
don't.
that exciting.
I
I
don't
think it's very
necessarily
Is
remember.
it? I feel like it's the same as
It is the exact same, but we're gonna retell it anyway.
I
Is it
don't
the exact
necessarily
same?
remember the first time I met Eric Eaton. However, I remember the first time Eric Eaton tried to be like nice to me
Why is that in
I don't know what this
quotations?
is.
was because I thought he was really judgy at first, and I was like, oh
Well,
man,
I mean,
Yeah.
Duh.
yes, he is. But
That's
it
like
was
how
like
we
the-
became friends.
Yeah, the first time he was nice to me was there was a country artist that was having a concert at TCU,
Yeah.
and I didn't go for some reason.
In the stadium.
We were
That was
standing.
at the end of the semester. What do you mean?
We're friends at that point.
We've been friends for a whole semester.
But that was the first time you were nice to me. You were
That's
more like
not
Ricardo
true.
and Claire's friend.
You were
and-
friends with all of us.
Maybe this is the first time.
we
we
were
Yeah, when you
buddy-buddy.
stand outside for 2 minutes outside of the door.
Well, so
Many times.
Eric stood outside. I was like, okay, I'm gonna go outside just to like see if I can like hear what's going on because there's some songs that I know. And Eric's like, I'll go with you, and I was like, no, that's okay because I knew it would be weird. He's like, no, I'll go
Why
with
is
you.
it Weird.
Stood outside with me.
My-
He didn't know any songs and just like chilled outside with me
Did
for
we
like
hear any
2
of it?
minutes. Yeah, some of it.
And
And I was like, okay, I'm gonna go back inside now. He was like, okay. But like, it was nice. You were nice to me.
the alternate
Wow.
viewpoint.
We need to-
I thought we already were friends, so I didn't think it was that weird.
We need to make up a new fake like meet cute for y'all too as
Meet
friends.
cute. Oh, I don't
A
think
friend
we-
meet cute.
Okay.
Well, I'm like, cause wow, that was.
No,
a
disrespect.
platonic mean cute.
Yeah, it exists. They exist. No, no. That was.
Do
That was. I'm gonna die in the hell that they do.
Also,
What else are you gonna call us?
One of the first times that Eric was
Just
also
a
like
meet?
friendly with me in my
I
definition
didn't like that.
was we went to like we used to go to Taco Bell really late at night all the time,
Yeah.
This is all to
And-
the end of the semester.
Oh my gosh.
and Eric
oh my
wanted
gosh.
Baja
a
Blast.
Baja
I did not
Blast.
want a Baja Blast.
I could go
Or
for Baja
you
Blast
wanted
right
something
now.
and you were like
I
hyper,
wanted like
and we brought you something. I don't remember what we
no,
brought
I
you.
was given a Baja Blast. I did not ask for the Baja Blast.
Yeah, I don't remember what he asked for.
Oh,
I
you
thought
were
it may
being
have actually been on the
Baja
side quest.
Because
Because I don't have caffeine.
right, and we were like, you have to try the
Maybe-
Baja Blast.
I wanted like a sip. Because y'all talked about it for a year.
Yeah.
Yeah, because Baja Blast is great.
Yeah.
I think I have a video, like a picture of you or a video from that
sure.
night.
I'm gonna track it down.
I'll
I'm gonna
find
put
it.
the picture
Oh no.
right. Am I allowed to put the picture right there? I'm gonna put the picture right here.
I don't know if
We asked for permission to share.
Let me
people's
see this
photos.
picture
Yeah,
again
okay,
first.
okay. It's probably 2021.
Oh no.
We all remember
Well,
how I met
Claire
Victor
finds
from
it.
the last episode.
Yes, because if
There's
you're
no
watching
limits
this, you're
on-
totally watching in chronological order, right? Right.
Chronological order.
Yeah.
You're also
Oh my gosh, a rival podcast.
Dang.
A rival porch
The team is gonna
podcast.
be
Porch
crazy.
podcast.
Also, wait, hold on. I feel like
Yeah.
if you're filming at Abby's, like, at a location that is, like, run by Abby, I think Abby should at least be
Abby
a
has
co-host.
Thank you. Thank you. And when it takes my friend to like figure out my arguments.
So what happens if I move to another city? Am I just have to start a new podcast? It's like.
No, you do it over Zoom. We lived through COVID.
Jeez, Victor.
This fight will
I need to hire
go
Claire
on
to
for
be
a while.
like my lawyer for like so much
Claire
stuff.
would make a good lawyer.
Claire would make a
I
good lawyer.
would not Hey, I'm not a lawyer.
You're right, folks. She is an engineer. Going into
training.
that
We
topic
can establish that Claire
about
is smart.
post-grad life.
She's really smart.
She is smart.
Is
But
it the
she's
end of the
also
semester?
dumb sometimes.
I'm very dumb.
Definitely,
So.
Whoa,
It was like,
okay.
But
it was probably like
who
April.
isn't dumb sometimes?
I'm
Let's
gonna,
be
I'm
real.
gonna track down this photo while we all talk.
Oh,
Anyways.
I feel like it's gonna be a
I found
random
this.
picture. What is that?
What is that?
I don't know what's happening in that picture. Oh, that was
So
that
bright.
was really bright.
Okay, well, while
Am
we
I
wait for
crying?
these pictures to come up, I recently got red flags, and
Yes, the big red
Oh,
flag.
I
that
have
was
one
definitely
picked
the
out
night that I
and
was
want some
working-
people's opinions on it.
Oh, okay.
That was the
So-
night that I was working on my
This is
final
our
and
brand
it
new
didn't
segment
save.
called
The next morning
Red
and I
flags.
woke up like an hour to submit it. And I,
Yay.
I thought about that
So,
recently.
Victor,
Oh my
Okay.
God.
If
It was
this person-
terrifying.
Yes.
Oh, I
always
made that
defends
way too
you,
bright.
Yes.
is a photographer,
Uh-huh.
Now we're playing Red Flags.
but
Just
Oh.
keeping updated.
Thing.
every time you think about them, you dry.
Oh.
How do you feel?
Every time I think about them,
I was like, what is that?
I mean, I thought that,
I
Like-
really don't. I really don't have this picture.
no,
That's
that's not
probably
enough
the
for me to,
best.
like,
I
be with
mean-
them long term.
They always defend you and they're a photographer?
But, like, dry heaving every time I think of them, like, that's kind of rough.
Ew.
How do we feel, folks?
Okay,
That's
so I,
bad.
They
Dry
always-
negotiable.
They always defend you. They're a photographer.
I don't think I
But
have
while they
this
defend
photo.
you, they're dry heaving.
No.
They're thinking about you.
When you think about them, you dry heave.
Oh.
Yeah.
Do you think if
that's
I go
rough.
all the way back to games we played that we do, I can track it down?
Oh, Lord.
Maybe I don't think I have it, or it's saved somewhere else.
I just want to say, my best friend from
Oh, I
preschool
found it.
just
I
texted
found
me.
it so
And-
quickly.
I don't know, I had the realization.
Yeah.
I did remember I was wearing the book smart shirt and it.
Am I allowed to put this?
Let me see.
So
I found it
horrible
very
picture.
easily.
Baby
actually.
Eric
Not
Hilton.
representative.
Yeah, you literally look like a decade younger. Not that I'm saying you look a decade older.
Yeah.
That sounded really bad. I
Really,
can't unsay
in my
that.
30s.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
No, you just had a glow up, Eric.
That you did.
And not
That
saying
doesn't sound like you
No, I'm not
I'm a
saying
little confused because how old did I look in that picture?
no. You look
In this
like
picture,
you kind of
like
look like
you're
a
freshly,
teenager,
like,
and you are a
17.
teenager in that picture. You look like a
I am a
teenager,
teenager.
You are.
but you had a glow up. You look like a whole
In this
man now,
photo-
a college graduate
In
man.
this photo, you look like a blonde version of Cameron from Ferris Bueller's Day Off. Now you look like
I'm worried.
Liam Hemsworth.
I feel like I did not come up with that at all. Liam Hemsworth.
He went Liam Hemsworth.
Oh,
No, but yes, you had a glow up, like baby
Do
Eric.
I look
No.
like Liam Hemsworth?
I don't know if I would say you.
Anybody
I can
else?
see what he's saying with the beard
Yeah,
and the
the
hair.
beard is very
But-
distinct. Like,
I
yeah.
think like you have a beard. You
The
have nice
better
style hair.
personality.
Yes,
Well, I
much
don't think we're talking
better.
personality here.
What?
I don't think we're talking about. If we're talking about personality, we'd be talking about Joan Rivers' personality.
Yes, that's correct. I agree with that.
But that's correct, though.
Okay, but
I
that's
just
like
feel
such
like-
an amazing
I
compliment.
know. I was like, I can't really say anything because that is a good compliment. But
It's a
like,
compliment.
Eric doesn't know how to feel right
I was
now.
saying, Joan Rivers' personality, Liam Hemsworth looks. It's like I guess you can have the best of both worlds. Like I got like the least attractive Hemsworth as like my.
Really?
Also,
Okay.
We don't like
The
him,
non-famous one is also.
though. Yeah,
Okay.
you cheated on
Okay.
Miley Cyrus.
right, so we don't like it.
Yeah.
But I've also never thought it's attractive.
Mm.
Hold on, let me.
I feel like we're barraging Eric a lot right now.
That's okay.
Should focus.
Eric, do you have anything you need to call us out on?
Probably so many things. But
Not at the moment, but give me.
Give her a couple minutes.
I don't
We
want
got
to
like 15, but
I've heard Eddie Redmayne before. I've never gotten the name husband, so I'm still processing.
oh wait, I see that. Okay, yeah, that's actually good.
I guess he's not like hideous.
For our viewers that can't see what Eric eats,
Here's a
like,
picture of me.
just think of insert here Liam Hemsworth. There you go.
Hmm.
You're an Australian guy.
Like Chris is a lot better. I think we can all agree on that.
But
Yeah,
I don't,
yeah, of
I don't
course.
think Liam's bad.
So you think I'm hot?
Okay, folks, this is where the podcast ends. Sorry.
Anyways, well, that did give us much more evidence on the key. the keying of your car.
Yeah, that was big.
Man, oh my gosh, wait, can you relate to Carrie Underwood's before the cheese smell?
I really thought of that. I was like, wait a minute, this happened in the Carrie Underwood video.
Well,
Oh,
she was gonna key someone's car.
Oh, she did. At the end of the
She-
video.
Oh my gosh, do you think it was Carrie Underwood?
I think it was Carrie Underwood.
Carrie.
That is
That's gonna be.
right there.
That's actually. Ooh, I got one for idea
Listen.
for title of the podcast.
I know we have
Carrie Underwood
keyed
keyed
out
my car.
Listen, Carrie, I know we have political differences.
I think you
but
might get
I
sued if you
was-
do that.
Difference. Alright, well, time to speed run the rest of this podcast. So we got our introductions out of the way as well as some funny, haha, hilarious bits. Now for some deep philosophical discussion. Abby, last time you asked the question, what do you
It's
think
so
of the death?
natural when Victor uses his TED Talk.
What do you think of the death
segments.
penalty? La, what's your next philosophical question for the week, Abby?
You know,
Off the top of your head.
my philosophical
Oh.
my philosophical question is: why does Victor feel the need to act like he's in a TED Talk? Victor, do you want to be in a TED Talk?
I'd love to be in a TikTok. That sounds
Would
great.
you? What would your TED Talk be about? Not transitions in conversation. That is for sure.
Probably art and entertainment.
No, Victor talks like
like
he is living an essay. He's like, and secondly,
Hey, I'm sorry he took AP. Oh.
I took AP literature, and you know the rest is history. I started throwing it in conclusion to my daily conversation. Yeah, no.
I can't.
Yeah.
Honestly, I don't know if I could give a TED Talk. I feel like I
You
could give.
could.
I could give like a TED Talk worthy speech, just not giving like.
Well, what would you give a TED Talk on, Jenny?
I could give
that's good
a
question.
TED Talk worthy rant, but not like actually give a TED Talk.
I mean, there's
that
TED
makes
Talks
any
that are like
sense.
really funny. Like, what would you, if you had a room, like, let me ask you this even broader. If you had like just a room, if you had the chance to like talk about anything for 30 minutes to a huge crowd at a convention, what would it be?
I have no clue. There's so many topics.
Something mildly educational then. If you wanted to teach people something that you think they didn't know about and you felt would make a difference.
How to not be an asshole. Number one, please do not key other people's cars. You don't know if it's their birthday or not, okay?
But if it was not their birthday, you can.
If
Yeah,
it's
that's what she
justified, if you are Carrie Underwood and your guy is cheating on you, go for it. If it's someone's birthday, maybe no. Maybe check the license plate, Carrie,
Oh
before
my
you do
gosh.
that.
Our third feature in the podcast?
I live
Paid
train?
actor.
I live next to a train station, so you're welcome. I also live next to a hospital, so if you hear an ambulance and a fire
So if people get hit
department,
by the train, they can get rushed to the hospital.
I also live next to a firehouse. So
Oh.
also all of the
A
sounds.
pop-in location.
All of the
Really?
sounds.
Eric, if you could give a TED Talk on any mildly educational topic, what would you ramble
Physical fitness and how to stay healthy.
No.
Is your name Eric?
I don't know how I feel about you associating that. Do you
I
see
don't
what
know.
eat?
I mean, I do.
It's not healthy.
Don't get me wrong, I do.
I
The
don't
I don't know if I
amount
wanna
of
hear that from
cheese
my
that this guy
psychopath.
eats,
What's your deal with cheese?
literally insane. No, I've never seen someone
You
eat
do
so
eat a
much
lot of-
cheese. Like, actually.
Okay,
What does that
but
even mean?
cheese is like its own food group now.
Now.
Like, I feel like at this point, you need to just go live in Wisconsin with how much cheese we eat.
And the gym?
Maybe he will. Maybe he really will.
I'm
You
going to
never know.
Wisconsin.
I don't want to.
Yeah. I mean, they are a swing state.
They are.
So maybe it's better.
It's if you're moving in the right direction.
Trixie Mattel.
Tracy?
Trixie?
Tracy?
Tracy. She was at Coachella.
She was, but she also had to close down her bar in Wisconsin.
She did.
Ugh.
She did.
Why?
Because running a bar is
Oh, I
hard.
think it was like construction with blocking access to like, it was like a money pit or something.
Yeah.
Man.
something
Would you
like
stay at the Trixie Motel?
Yeah, sure. I think it's too expensive for me, probably. But
that. Oh, for sure.
Have we looked at the prices?
I did at one point out of curiosity.
What are
I'll
they?
look again right now.
I think it was like $1,000 a night.
Oh
Yeah.
Which is a
my
lot to
gosh.
think about right
Jesus
now.
Christ.
Ooh.
That could be very wrong. Not sue me.
But
Clean
like,
the podcast herself.
I could see that if you were
Yeah.
like splurging for like a bachelorette night.
Well, I mean,
Nice.
I think that's what
Nice.
tells me it's outside of my
I
price
like
range.
that
Is
you
that
can book it
the
on Expedia.
the Real Housewives of Salt Lake City we're trying to stay there, and so I'm like, if that's where they're trying to stay, it's probably not somewhere I can afford or want to go.
Mm-hmm.
Here.
Have y'all seen that clip though? I've heard
Of what?
like like I don't remember which one. The real like one of the Real Housewives trying to book, and they're like, "You have this," and they're like, "No." And
If you want to go on May 14th, it's $395.
Wow, that's a steal.
Hey.
All right,
Yeah,
guys.
it's
We'll
honestly
catch
paying
you
for anything.
for another
sounds a
podcast
lot
on
like-
May 14th.
No,
Yeah.
I wouldn't do it now.
I'm
Okay,
curious.
actually, at $295 is the cheapest I'm seeing right now for this one room.
Is it a good room?
It's like the lowest room.
I also don't fully understand the Trixie Motel. Like, is it just a like motel with a pool, or like more like bed and breakfast? I thought I saw something that made it seem like it was
I don't know.
kind of full service. In Palm Springs?
Yeah, it's Palm Springs.
I don't really know what there is to do in Palm Springs.
Resorts.
Yeah.
Well, I know, but it's like,
Swim.
is this a resort?
There's a pool.
Get some sun. Get some
Because there's not that
vitamin
many
D.
rooms,
Yeah,
right?
could we lose some
No.
sunlight?
Yeah, for real.
You can get dedicated server, a dedicated server for poolside food and drinks.
That stresses me out.
Why?
I don't know. I don't need. I was talking about this recently. I don't need that level of individualized attention.
Oh, but wouldn't it be so nice to have like a personal assistant though?
Yes, but also like I don't know because I watch.
What do you
Dad
need a
Gas.
personal assistant for?
I would
Things
love
could be
a
so much easier in life if you had a
But
personal
I also
assistant.
feel really guilty. 'Cause I'm like, why do I need somebody else to help me with my stuff? And there's like,
Because life is hard.
why not like who's gonna help them?
They can hire their own personal assistant when they
But
can
then like, where
afford
does
it.
the loop end?
The plane is
It
now
never
mid
ends. We're all just each other's personal
That's a
assistants.
helicopter.
Helicopter.
The
Oh,
helicopter.
the
I also live next to a
rival
hospital that
podcast
does
is
care
ending.
plane, so cool.
Come on, County Hospital.
Woohoo!
Trauma centers.
Children's.
Speaking of
Yeah.
helicopters and planes, are y'all terrified to hop in any planes in the near
Oh,
future?
100%. But I've already gone on 2 flights since all this stuff
true.
happened, and I
True.
Why are we
learned.
scared of planes?
I
They're crashing.
They're crashing like once a week. I mean, I see the news.
That was a couple months. I feel like that was like a month or so ago now, though. Where like
True.
3 planes crashed in
Well,
the span of a week.
it started like in
Jeez.
January when there was like the helicopter crashed into a plane like at the military site in like New York or something?
DC.
Or DC. And then there was like a plane crash and another plane crash and then another helicopter just fell out of the sky this week.
Yeah, this week a helicopter fell out of the sky in New
Know
York.
about that
No one
Into
knows.
the
With
Hudson.
one of my favorite
And it was
responses
one of
to
those
all
like
this.
sightseeing flights.
Yes. One of my favorite
in
responses
New
to all of this though has been Buttigieg, who I think I don't know if it was a tweet, but he just put out a statement saying, "Hey, this stuff wasn't happening when I was running transportation." Just saying.
Oh yeah. No, it's very like it's bad. It's bad out here.
But also, no one knows about why it's really happening.
Yeah.
It's a weird one. I went on a flight shortly after all that, and I experienced some of the worst turbulence I've ever had in my life, and it was terrifying.
Oh god.
But you know what? Two things.
Yes.
One, the pilot was a woman, so I inherently felt safer. 2, her mom was on board, so I
There you
really
go.
felt safer.
There you go.
But there was a moment where, and it wasn't like, it was just like we were driving? We were flying through rough air, and it was like storming, because I was flying back to Texas from Nashville,
Mm-hmm.
and it had just rained here a whole ton. So it was like stormy weather, stuff like that. I felt the air come out from under us, and we all, like, the plane fell. It was like, it wasn't very far, but it was enough and abrupt enough for everybody on the plane to be like, yep,
Yeah.
literally.
Yeah.
It's okay. I still felt safe because female pilot and her mom was there.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
She like made a cute little announcement at the beginning of the flight too. It was great.
Yeah.
Not to interrupt, but they had a little tiny Victoria's reunion at Coachella.
Oh.
Okay, who's the person on the right?
Yeah.
For those of us without
Victoria
glasses.
Justice.
Oh.
And the
He's
guy
like
that
working with Chris Brown though now, so I've lost respect
Oh
for
no.
him. But that's nice.
unfortunate.
I mean, I don't. That could be like incorrect information. I believe I saw something.
Alright, we are about to hit 30 minutes.
There's gonna be Victoria's spinoff.
Is
Really?
there?
Yeah, about Trina.
Yeah, that's right.
I don't know how to feel about it fully, but we'll watch it.
We hit our final. I don't know. I don't know how to close this
Final
thing out.
thoughts.
I have
Wait,
one
I
I have one quick question before we final thoughts.
Before we final thoughts.
Yeah.
then.
How do y'all feel? How much should a wedding cost in your perfect world? I'll say why I'm thinking this.
I've never looked at the cost
went
of weddings, so I have
to-
no idea.
I went to a wedding on my birthday, and it was very fun. And my boyfriend was like, "Wow, this is a really expensive wedding." And I was like, "To be honest, I thought it was a bit of a cheaper wedding,
Oh,
but not cheap in a
Clock it.
bad way. Just like they didn't have all the frilly stuff, and you don't need all the frilly stuff sometimes." So I'm curious, what do y'all think is a good budget? Because I was talking with my parents about this also, and one of my cousins, her wedding was $250,000, which is
what?
too much.
What?
Too much.
What the
Yes.
fuck?
I wish I was invited to that wedding.
Her parents paid for it.
I still wish I
What
was
the hell did her
invited.
parents do? Oh my god.
Anyways,
This is the family member you said?
yes. So that obviously is one end of the spectrum.
How many guests?
At least like 500.
Oh, that's why. That's why it was that much.
Well, they rented out the modern.
Oh.
Oh,
That's-
What? Like the
that's-
modern art museum?
Yes.
Wait, that's so cool though.
that is cool.
That's
I was
so
not
cool.
at that
I was
wedding,
too
that's
young
awesome.
to fully appreciate it, but yeah. It was
That's
cool.
very cool.
I was in it. It was fun. But
Were you a flower girl?
no, I was part of the house party.
What
Whatever
does
that means.
that mean?
We handed out the
Houses?
little- yeah, that's why it was so expensive. No, we handed out like the little the booklet of like
Like a
what's
little
gonna happen.
program?
Yeah, little programs.
Cute.
And we had our little dresses, but we didn't like stand up there. But we had like nice dresses on, and they had Super Frog and
Why?
well at the reception.
You mean Superfunk didn't officiate the wedding?
No.
I'm
I know.
So that means they knew someone that was super fine, I guess. But...
Yeah, they went to TCU. They both went to TCU.
Okay.
They were it was a very fun wedding. It was a
Okay.
very pretty wedding. But it was a very
Ram.
expensive wedding.
$250,000 is kind of crazy.
Yes.
So do you have an answer to this question? Because I should.
Personally, I don't think I want to go over 50
Grand?
at the most.
I
Just because of how things are like priced out now. Like I feel like things are just really expensive and becoming more expensive.
think what I had heard recently was that right now the average is $30,000.
Yeah.
Dude, I don't know. I'm like,
Which
but
is-
I don't know when I'm gonna have that money.
I
but-
can't comprehend that amount of money right now.
Yeah.
Like,
I'll do it for $20.
I don't even think you can get a courthouse wedding for $20.
Uh,
I think the
I'll just
license
do it at
itself
park.
costs
That's
100 or
Donnie.
something.
Donnie's
cake is
like-
gonna be, I'm buying cake and nothing else. Figure it out,
Donnie's
guys.
like, let's do a courthouse wedding. And I'm like, no. Sorry.
Wait, we're talking about marriage again?
Yes.
We always talk about marriage.
I thought you weren't.
I thought we paused.
Well, no,
yeah,
we're
not about
I know, I know. No, I know, I know.
no,
No,
we're
I'm
not.
not saying it's judgment. I was
No. We're
You're
not like
good.
going into like the crazy hypotheticals.
Okay, well, I just
That's
thought-
what it is.
I
Oh
thought you were
yes,
like,
yes, as
well, no,
any-
it's
But
not
we
like
talk
you were
about,
wedding
like-
planning. I think that was like a big.
No, we're not wedding planning,
Okay,
but
okay.
Abby does crazy hypotheticals, and
Yeah.
Abby had to be
That's
told
fair.
to stop doing crazy hypotheticals.
Yeah.
So, but anyways, he's like, yeah, if I ever get married, I just want to go down to the courthouse, and I'm like, no. And I was like, what about this? He's like, yeah, that's fine. So yeah, I don't see more than 50 because 50 is a lot, and I don't know. I also just have many family members that will be offended if they do not get invited and will want to come. So there's that too. But I don't know. Eric, how do you feel?
I'm a very cheap person. So
I will say, like, if you need, like, I don't know. I feel like suits are a little bit cheaper maybe
Oh yeah,
than
there will be no
dresses.
dress involved. So
Yeah.
there will be that.
So that'll be helpful. And I don't know, you want to keep it small?
Probably
You want
Yeah.
indoors, outdoors? What's
Indoors.
What's your dream wedding?
indoors.
I feel like being like born and raised in Texas, the thought of having an outdoor wedding is like horrendous.
Yeah.
How
Just
could
because-
you?
Just because it's hot.
Oh,
Yeah.
that
Like,
too.
literally, I'm like,
It's like,
well,
do you
'cause
want to sweat your butt off?
it's either like,
I don't want to be
oh,
hot. I don't want to be like. I don't want there to be bugs. Like there's just
yeah, it's like,
nothing for me personally is outside. Like that I want.
I love the idea of an outdoor wedding.
Yeah.
If that
I
makes
really
me.
love that.
The
Like,
wedding that I
Like,
went
air
to
conditioning
was
is-
outdoors,
Or, like,
and the reception was outdoors.
or semi-outdoor.
So,
I
it
remember you
was-
saying that.
a lot of heat, and everything there was white. You know how people paint like
People
that
do.
the outside of like the house and like the
That took me a
Roof.
long time to process.
I'm gonna add a laugh track right there for myself.
It's like those-
It was funny.
Like,
really
I was thinking
like aesthetic houses that are like entirely white on the outside.
modern
like-
style.
Yeah, kind of. It was like one of those.
You think
in-
like in Hollywood Hills or something? Here.
No, the wedding that I went to.
Yeah.
This event was like everything was white on the outside, and the concrete that it was like on was like painted white, and so it was
Okay.
sunny, and everyone was like getting blinded because it was like reflecting up on you, and you're like dying. But it was a great wedding.
glad you had a good time. Buddy.
Yeah.
I don't understand your question.
It's not important.
Okay.
If I may throw a question out there, when does everyone think they will get married at the earliest?
Start with lady.
Abby's not supposed to answer these questions anymore.
They won't. For those that are interested, we can stop.
Abby's not supposed to answer these
Not
questions.
factoring your real world boyfriend.
Oh, not back.
When Abby was a child, Abby wanted to get married by like 23 or 24 and have a kid.
Abby, you're running out of time.
I know Abby wanted to get have a kid by 24 because my mom had a kid by 24. And so by the time I was like 18, I'd be like 41 or something, or 42, whatever. And you can go live life in la-di-da and go travel, and your child's like independent.
Sure.
But you can't set yourself up for that, because life will be like, ha, just kidding. We're gonna do this instead. Yeah. What, Eric?
I'm not saying anything.
But I don't want that anymore.
No,
I don't want that anymore
I'm
because I'm
actually-
23 and I'm not having a child next year.
Thank God.
I'm sorry. What?
You do not need to
I
bring a child.
infamously made a list of when everyone was gonna get married.
Oh my gosh, you did.
Yeah.
Freshman year, Eric predicted when we were gonna get married and what our potential spouses
For the
would
folks
look
at
like.
home.
And I remember very vividly
Okay, for the
mine and
folks at home.
laughing very hard.
Eric Eaton predicted that Claire Elrod.
get full names every single time.
I just got full name too.
Okay, that's fine.
It's okay.
He predicted that Claire Elrod would get
Okay,
married
you
to
don't
a
need to.
bald man
Wow.
at the age of what?
I don't know.
I feel like he was
I'm
27.
Mm.
Something
It
like
was
that.
definitely like
It was
later
later.
because whatever part I feel like that part was like I could see that, and then I was like, dang, a bald man.
We can't
No
get all
offense.
of you.
That one
No
never
offense to
left.
bald
No
people.
offense.
Okay, mind you, I did not record what they would look like.
I think you just hypothetically
I just-
predicted.
I do remember that conversation.
Oh, no, that also tracks.
At 32. Okay, that's fine.
That's fine.
So,
Yes.
stay tuned.
There's so
starting
many
this,
people
though.
on this
I
list.
know.
Well, how do you all
For-
personally?
It was at the very
And you were
beginning.
wondering, that is not going to happen with Claire Elrod.
That's all
Oh,
I
I'm
can say.
dating a beautiful woman.
That's not going to
Who is not
happen.
bald.
Yes. Claire Elrod would not be marrying a bald man. So,
Well,
I thought it was hilarious though. I loved it when Eric said
Yeah,
that.
it was a funny concept.
Cross signals, maybe someone else is getting married to bald man.
it's Eric,
Uh-oh.
actually. Genuinely though, when do y'all think you're gonna get, like, in your mind, you're gonna get married? Again, not
never-
like
I
someone
never-
in a relationship.
I think I will probably get married before I turn 30.
Okay.
I never had an age on it. I just always was like, I don't want to be worried about finances during that time.
Yeah.
Like, I want to be at a stable financial point / a stable life point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I see that.
Because So like whatever that looks like, whatever point in my life that is, I don't know.
How would you define that stable point for you?
Mostly like not feeling like having that wedding is gonna bankrupt me, and also like knowing where I'm working, where my future spouse is working, like where we're living.
Having
like,
some things more set in stone.
Yeah,
that's fair.
yeah. It's like one of my coworkers, God bless her, got married, and then the week after they moved into their new house, and like timing wise, that's insane.
Funnily enough, that's kind of what happened with my parents, actually.
I was gonna say, I feel like that is
It's like
somewhat prevalent.
It's-
Prevalent.
it's good because they were like able to like move into their home, but like they literally did it the exact week after, so they had no break.
Yeah.
But like they had the plan,
Yeah.
you know. So I don't know. I don't know. It's probably at least like
far off.
2, 3, 4, 5 years from now.
Yeah, and that's a long time.
Yeah.
Victor?
I haven't talked about this before, but like for me, I definitely don't imagine myself in my gut. I don't imagine it happening until like at least after 30.
How does 34 sound?
Oh my God.
Is that what you
Yes.
Wow, I'm a little.
What did you say for me?
28.
That's
Okay.
realistic, actually. 34? I mean, honestly,
I actually still hold true for most of these.
34.
This is so very wrong. I just read it.
Here's the thing, that one.
Well, I'll have to go back and delete it. Actually, no, wait.
But the thing
Like,
is,
wait, girlfriend, it's fine.
yeah. Well, but like that one would have been correct if they had gone with their second option. For when
That
they were gonna
is
get married.
true.
Because it was either going to be before PT school or after PT school.
Yeah.
So you would have been right.
Shout out to, definitely not watch this podcast right now, but shout out to Lexi.
I mentioned it to her today.
Oh,
I said, actually, genuinely, I liked the first episode of the podcast.
It is shocking to us.
I actually thought it was funny, but then I was like, well, I do think they are funny. So, like,
Fair.
and I am friends with them, so, like.
Lexi, if you ever watch this, we love you.
Love you, Lexi.
Well, no, but I definitely know 34 is old in my opinion. 34 is
I'm
kind
just
of
looking at this.
but I personally don't think I'm gonna get married.
I don't know that's happening.
Okay.
Because
Well, considering.
I
I
don't know where
honestly
he's
don't
at.
see myself like
I can
finding
see
the
that.
one. So like I don't know. I feel like I still have so much left to learn about like myself and like relationships before I can actually like.
Yeah.
But, like, funnily enough,
Yeah, that's fair.
not to. It was a conversation I had a long time ago. I don't know. It was like a late night. I was having a conversation with my mom about like life and stuff. And something we got on the topic of like my brother and I and like our futures. And at some point she was like, "Oh, I don't know. I always saw your brother as the person that would date like 1 or 2 people, get his heart broken, and then just like." Oh no, she did that part. Like one, he'd he'd get married, like like he would like settle down like pretty like he would like maybe only get like 1 or 2 people. But then for me, she was like, "Oh, I always saw you in person. I would like date like dozens of people and never settle down."
Well, you're picky, and that's good.
I don't think I'm. That's not it either. No.
No, but like you have, like you know what you want,
Sure.
and you just gotta like. It is specific, so you gotta like go through a couple.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Yeah, no, I do not see myself like if I started dating someone tomorrow, like I don't think I can see myself marrying that person like
Oh, yeah.
at all ever. Like that's terrifying to me.
Eric,
You never know what
That's true.
when do you see yourself getting married?
The ages of 29 and 31.
We have talked about this
That's
because
an
then we have
ideal
also talked about when you want kids
Correct.
and how that would be soon after.
33.
31 to 33, I feel like
Yeah.
that's
2 years.
soon. Not like the day after.
Probably not.
Be like, hi, let's have a child.
It'll be very carefully planned, let's just say that much.
But Interesting.
I mean,
I do think it's funny. I was one of, well, no, I think I was the only one in the group that was like wanting to get married early. But also, that is what I came from. I came from people that traditionally get married
I
by
also don't
like
really believe in
24, 25.
idea of marriage, like as a whole. Like obviously, yeah, and like right we're
Total
talking,
segue.
like we're talking.
Yeah.
Sorry, well, I know we're also talking just because like we're talking about that, like as a concept doesn't necessarily mean we're talking about it like in my mind, like yeah, I would still like have a big like party celebration. But like I don't know, I don't really believe like in like marriage, you know?
What do you mean?
What do you
Like your parents are married.
Like I think like I definitely believe in like settling down with like a partner for life, but I don't know if I need like a wedding to necessarily like give it that label. Like I think I would have sure like I'd have like a wedding I guess in quotes like the party celebration of it, but like the actual like sexist origins of marriage and like the I don't know, just a lot of weirdness to it that I don't necessarily need.
But you can also make your wedding whatever you want it to be.
Yeah, I was gonna say, concept, you can file your taxes jointly.
True. I would get married legally. I would get married legally.
Health insurance.
That is true. I would get married legally. I'll tell you that.
And many other benefits that seem very transactional, but
Yes.
you know.
But to benefit both parties. At the end of the
Yes.
day. Yeah, I don't know. I also
Or you
don't
could just
value.
marry a random foreigner and get the same
That's true.
benefits.
That's true.
What?
What?
I don't think that's how that works at all.
I've also found recently that like I realize I don't really value.
Yeah, exactly.
I also noticed recently I found I don't really value like
She's fine.
even cheese.
Miss Kate.
But I also found recently like I don't really value like necessarily romance as highly like as I did like when I was a kid. Like in my like as a kid I definitely like believed that, you know, dating someone, getting married was like gonna be the end all be all of like my life, but I realized I definitely value just like if I had like a best friend, essentially for the rest of my life, it was like purely just like platonic. Like I think I could get happy with that. I think, you know, like that would be enough. Not quite romantic, but I don't know. I think I don't necessarily give as much weight to romance like as I did growing up. Is that? I don't know.
It's not bad. I mean,
Yeah.
I think that like there's a point that you get to in life where you're like, you know what? I'm kind of chilling.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I say this, but you know, like I wasn't looking for anything,
Mhm.
and then like all of it's that thing where like when you're not looking for it, you find it sometimes, and like that's what happened for me. So
So yes, as if she didn't find hers on a dating app.
that
No.
is true.
No shame
But I
again.
have
No shame.
no, I have a
Yeah.
issue
Sorry.
thing first.
Sorry.
Yeah, no. But it's very like I didn't. It's not. It's one of those things where it was like before, like early on in college, I was like, I don't need that.
Mhm.
And then the older I got, and the more confident I got in myself, and the more like secure I got in my own kind of like idea of myself, I was like, maybe it's something that I want.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe.
Mhm.
I don't know. And then,
Yeah, that sounds so confident.
yeah, I know. And then I don't know. All I know is that I'm happy.
That's good.
And that's what matters. to me.
Wow.
Wow.
Also,
I know.
we love Claire's girlfriend. She's great.
Yeah.
If
I also
they're
love Donnie. I feel like
If-
like have not come through this because I feel like everything sounds like I'm judgmental of your relationship, but that's not true.
It's fine. You're
No.
judging Abby, and that's what
Yes.
Yes.
my friends love Donnie. They just love to make fun of me.
Yes, this is a
Yes.
guilty
No,
by association.
exactly. No, I told Claire if she leaves her girlfriend that I will be very mad because we love her. No, but I was saying with my when you stop trying because I had to do well, I didn't have to, but I did dating apps because I was kind of just like in the mentality of like, oh, it'll just like fall into my lap, and like nothing was falling into my lap. And then I like actively was like going out on dates. And I had bad dates, and I was like, oh. I was like, I had this one date with my now boyfriend, and it was the first date, and I was like, okay, if
And
this
y'all saw
doesn't,
the boogeyman.
I was like, okay, if this doesn't go well,
I forgot
Yeah,
that's what
I
y'all's
forgot
movie
that
date was. It was
yeah.
the Boogeyman.
I still need
Yeah.
to watch it.
I
I
was-
need to find somebody and then
I was
we'll
like-
watch together on movies.
if this date
That's
doesn't
alright.
go well, like I'm done. I'm deleting my dating app. I'm done. And sure enough, that was the
Are you
date
for real?
that no, literally, and that was the date that I met my now boyfriend.
Huh.
Well, I also was very like, I don't care on the date, and he remembers it because I showed up in a hoodie.
Speaking of which, you're getting a phone call.
Leggings.
From the aforementioned.
It is from the boyfriend.
Is it might pause the voice memo, but it's
No,
fine.
it's
you
still
can start
going. It's still going.
No, but like if you answer the phone call, I think it will pause the voice memo.
Oh, we're not answering it.
Oh.
I'd call him back later. He's
Oh my
fine.
gosh. Okay.
We
He's
could have Johnny
fine.
on the podcast.
He's fine.
Nah, he's the episode 3
Don't
guest.
have
Episode
to
3
Yes.
is further
He does.
solidifying like
No,
Abby
you're
is
never
the
gonna
podcast.
hear
Yes.
the end of it. He's gonna get on some superhero tangent.
I'd
Just
like to
keep
hear it.
going.
Yeah.
Well,
haven't talked to
I'm
him in
actually
a
gonna have a
minute.
separate podcast just with
Did
Josh.
you send him a
Not your
picture of
Yeah.
the vandalism?
Yep. He's
What
like,
did he say?
someone keyed it? I was like, yeah. And he's like, I'm so sorry. I was like, I'm really mad.
Good boyfriend response.
Anyways, yeah, I didn't try. I showed up in sweats to our
You showed up in sweats to
movie
the
date.
date?
Yeah, to our
Wait,
movie
I didn't know this.
because I didn't care. I was like, I'm so done with these
She said if
boys.
you can't like me.
And he
I mean,
met
like,
up.
you do you, but what?
He met up and
Bought
we
everything.
saw the boogeyman. Well, I had to leave 3 times because I was so hot, and this man was like trying to like hold my hand and whatever, and I was like so hot, and my heart was racing. I was like, hold on, I gotta go to the bathroom. I left 3 times
Because
because I
you're
was,
watching a horror movie. too.
having-
You don't like horror.
and I don't like horror movies when we're watching horror
Yeah,
movies.
so wait.
So I was having like a heart attack and heat stroke. Anyways, we got that done, and I thought he was like too forward because I've never like had a date with a boy before,
Mhm.
and he was like, he hugged me, and I was like, oh my gosh. Anyways, so
Scandal.
I made up a lie that my then roommate broke her ankle, and I had to take her to the hospital.
I forgot about that.
You
I didn't know
made
that
up a
was-
lie.
I was
I
gonna be
went
telling you about this.
home.
I'm
Wait,
like, this
wait,
guy
but
is
you
so-
didn't- When did? Hold on.
So
Hold on.
then I went home, and then he's like, oh, can I call you later? And I was like, yeah, sure. And then we FaceTimed for like 3 hours or something.
And the
And
rest
he was
is
like,
history.
how's your roommate? Well, once we finally started dating, I was like,
Did
know
you
that
tell
I-
him that that was a lie?
Yeah, I was like, you know that I
Just
lied
the
about that,
content right
right?
Yeah.
He's like, you know I lied about that. He was like, yeah, you obviously were lying. I just wanted to keep talking to you. And I was
Oh,
like,
that's
okay,
so nice.
nice.
Wait.
How did you?
How did you?
He puts up with so much. It's
He
not
really,
even
no,
funny.
he really
He
does.
really does.
He's a trooper.
I-
He's a trooper.
Yeah.
I lived with you, so I know what you're like.
Are you with, like? Wait, when was that
Saint
date?
of a
Because
human being.
was this when someone was subleasing from you, Victor?
Huh? Yeah. When
Yes.
Okay. Because I was like,
because
It was
it
like
was,
summer.
it was the summer. Yeah, it was over summer.
okay.
That's
Because I was like,
correct,
who?
yeah. I was around.
I was like, you were living with Victor then, so I don't know.
No,
Who this-
Abby was living with our other friend.
Okay.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
yeah.
I was like,
No,
Very
but I
funny.
remember you complaining about this Dottie, who is now your long-term boyfriend here, and I was like, this guy, man, this guy sucks. I didn't need him. And then later be like, yeah, so I'm dating that same guy. I was like, why? I literally went to you, and I was like, why?
I don't remember complaining about him, you?
You were complaining about how. No, never mind. Whatever.
I can't believe that you showed up to the movie date. To
I
your
showed
first
up
date
wearing
in
a blue
sweats.
hoodie, leggings, fuzzy
Aw, she
socks,
remembers.
fuzzy pink socks, and Converse.
That's so good that
And
you
she also
remember
like
that.
set it up for
In-
failure.
In summer.
I didn't know
Because he
you had
gave her,
Converse.
he was like, any movie, and then you picked like the one you had no interest in seeing.
You picked the movie,
Yes.
and you picked a
He
movie
gave
that I.
options. I remember this vividly. So it's like, why are you picking that movie? Oh, your excuse was because it was the shortest.
Oh my
maybe.
God.
That was-
Wait,
that was
that
your
is a-
excuse.
that's
Let
a
me
very
tell you, I
Abby
was
thing to
so
do.
done with men. I
This is
swear.
like
You
an hour and a
set
half.
the
You
date
got to
up.
become a lesbian.
You know what? You know
Plus,
what?
Like, I
Good
also,
for Donnie.
No, that's what I'm telling you. He is a saint.
He puts up
He
with a
put
lot.
through so much, or he was been put through so much.
He did. He went through
I
a
don't
lot.
think I realized that you were trying to set the date up for failure. I just
No,
knew it had
yeah,
happened,
I
and
wasn't
she
Is
setting
this
it
the
up for
key?
failure. I was
Oh,
just
is this the key? Is this the key for everyone finding love? Do you like just go on a dating app and present the work? You know, like you show up to a date, no effort, and also trying to get out as hard as you can. If they come back, that's the one.
If he wanted to, he would. Just like,
The boogeyman.
Where did she
Comment,
go?
Should you go get the dog?
Comment below if you've seen the boogeyman.
It was a bad movie too. That was the other thing.
Okay, well, you chose it.
Yeah, so you only have one person to blame, and that's yourself.
Wow, to me.
I mean, I'm also
Literally the only.
I'm also pretty sure I chose it because it was like a scary movie.
Well, there is like a time-honored
Ah.
tradition of like date movie.
Yeah, exactly.
horror,
Meanwhile,
psychology.
It wasn't
to
even that
it.
scary, and it was weird though. And he's like to be like, "Oh, it's our movie." I'm like, "No, we're never watching that movie again."
No,
We
you
both
kind of have
agreed.
to.
No, you have
You
to.
have to.
I'm
That was your
sorry,
first
I agree
date.
with
We
Johnny.
both agreed it
It's
was a
John's movie.
horrible movie.
Yeah,
Neither
but
one of
it
us
was the
liked it.
first. It was
Okay,
the
well,
first
you don't have to
movie
like
I
pay
watched.
full attention to it.
Yeah. It's just
Y'all
a cute
should
little
have
Pay full
moment.
attention to it
When
the
y'all
first
hit like your 2-year anniversary, like
I was, like,
y'all
freaking
should
out
make
the
a
first time.
boogeyman cake, like
time. No, yeah, like
That'll
that.
be our
Definitely
wedding
has to
cake,
be
the
on
boogeyman.
honeymoon.
the boogie. About to give y'all.
The honeymoon is you rent out a theater and you put on boogie.
I'm about to buy y'all
It's
a
a
gift,
rehearsal dinner,
like
actually.
the one
Everybody
boogeyman.
involved
Everyone's
watches it.
there.
Everyone's forced to watch it.
Yeah.
I would.
Actually,
Yeah.
that's the like one of the speeches at the wedding is
I'm gonna
We're
invite.
bringing this
we're-
food
it's
right
us.
now.
No, it's just us doing a staged reading of the boogeyman.
I'm actually gonna track down
I
the
actually really
director
like that
of
idea.
the
We should do
boogeyman
that.
and get him at y'all's like
Crash
reception.
the wedding.
Ugh.
I'm like,
I
oh
get
yeah,
you
my
a
good friend directed
Signed
so-and-so.
screenplay.
Who directed this movie?
It's gonna be like, I don't know. I don't know any
Director
movie
of the
directors.
Boogeyman. About to hear my tapping on my phone.
Actually,
But
one
yeah.
of
That was our
Rob Savage. Wait, don't I?
first
Yeah,
date.
Wait.
Adam Savage's brother?
Claire, let's
No.
talk about your first date.
the
Rob Savage, the guy from.
Hers is probably much more magical than mine.
We went to the museum,
What museum?
the science museum.
Nice. I remember because I stalked you one day.
Yeah, and you were
I was
like, why
what
is
are
he
you
at the
doing?
museum? Yeah, we went to the museum 2 days before my birthday. So our anniversary is 2 days before my birthday,
Nice.
which
Oh, that is
really
kinda
is
cool.
it's really one of those things where I'm like, we both like giving gifts, but it's like we don't have to do both. It's 2 days back to back, and my birthday is in January, so or like our anniversary and my birthday is in January, and Christmas just passed. Like, it's too much.
It's a lot.
It's a lot.
I just need to make a new date in the calendar for
Yeah.
What month is
but-
your birthday?
June.
Okay.
Yeah, so right apart, but so we had been hanging out a lot, like one-on-one anyway, but we had never like done anything like official. And then one day she was like, what if we go do something fun? And I was like, sure.
Okay.
Okay, what did you have in mind? And she's like, what if we went to the museum? And I was like, okay.
Girl
And
had a
then-
plan.
Yeah, definitely. She definitely did. Yeah, so then we went to the museum, and then for like several hours, probably walked the entire thing.
Did you think something was going on?
Mhm.
Okay.
We
Nice.
that was like yeah, and then we went to lunch afterwards because it was one of those moments where we were like, we kind of don't want the like. I don't really want this to end. You want to go get lunch?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Um,
nice.
yeah, and then we went to Mellow Mushroom.
Nice.
So that's
I love
your
Mellow
restaurant.
Mushroom.
Yeah.
That's your
There
restaurant.
you go.
Really, it's our museum.
Good thing you went to Mellow
yeah.
Mushroom and not Pizza Snob, which no
Yeah.
longer exists.
Yeah. Also,
I
that
never went there.
that restaurant spot is cursed because
Really?
now the Bond shop that was there is also gone.
Whoa, that's
I
crazy.
know. I found this out recently.
Pizza Snob making a comeback? Or...
No.
Imagine.
But
Wow.
yeah, and then we just continued after that. But we yeah
Continue.
But, like,
continued.
when were you like, you want to be like girlfriend or boyfriend? Because I will say, I made Donnie ask me, hey, will you be my girlfriend? Because I'm not just gonna like, I don't know, whatever.
Mhm.
So our first date was a month before our like what I consider our actual anniversary.
You
Of
consider you
when
could.
he asked me to be his girlfriend.
Okay, so y'all use that. We,
I do. I was
We
like,
use our first date.
That makes more
I
sense
literally
to me.
told him because there were.
Get her again.
What'd you say?
I miss it.
You can listen to it on
I know, I'm
Yeah,
gonna
yeah,
have to.
yeah.
No, because there were events years past that happened around
Mm.
that time,
Mhm.
and I was like, hey, if you want to ask me to be your girlfriend, you're not asking me on this day. He was like,
What day
okay,
was it? When was it?
I'll tell you later.
Was it October?
And no,
Oh, okay.
and he asked me July 8th to be his girlfriend in the parking lot of a movie trading co. And I was in a really
In a movie trading co parking lot.
I'm
And
sorry,
I
Boogie
was-
Man
That's
is
like
way
that's
better.
significant for him because he also
It
likes
is.
movies like I do.
It
Yeah,
is. He
that
made a
is-
whole
yeah.
thing. He was like,
Okay.
I really love. I don't know. He had some whole big speech.
And you don't remember
And I was in a
it.
bad mood that day, and I was like, sure. And he was like, sure. And I was like, yes. I am just in a bad mood right now, but yes. So
Rip my man down, man.
I know he really goes through a lot, but yeah. But when did she ask you, or did you ask her?
I think
They said at the same time.
we kind of
Do you
did,
wanna?
but so
Build a snowman.
so
So
because I'm trying to figure out how to tell this story without painting it in the cheesiest light possible.
I think you
See,
should
this is what I'm talking about.
embrace the cheese.
We
I
have
love
different-
cheese.
we have different lifestyles. Claire is a very lucky person, and I am also a lucky person, but I'm lucky in different ways. Claire has like this nice love story, and
Your love story is also good.
it is, but I'm the person that shows up to the
In
first date in
sweatpants.
sweats and is in a bad mood when I get asked to be a girl, like all
I
that
don't
stuff,
mean this to
and I
insult,
find it
but I do
hilarious.
think that is pretty representative.
I think it is pretty representative. Literally.
Again, no
So-
shade.
No, it's
Much.
like Claire lives a fairy tale life, and I love that for her. But I'm also like,
Living Matthew.
for real. Anyways, continue. Sorry,
We love
The
you,
title of this
Cameron.
episode is Better in Stereo.
Carrie Underwood keyed my car, and we're better in stereo.
Great callback.
So because our first date was towards the end of January, Valentine's Day came along and we were like, so do you want to do something? Because it was unclear what we were at that point,
Yeah.
even though we had gone on several dates.
So what made, like, you said you were hanging out a lot. What made that specific one, like, your first date?
Because that was the one where we both knew something was happening.
Okay.
Like, it was very intentional.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas all of the rest were like us just like watching a TV show or something.
Okay.
So we're like, do you want to do something? So we made Valentine's Day plans and we went to Game Theory
Oh.
in Fort Worth, where that was the first time we'd ever gone, and it quickly became one of our favorite places. We'd gone to
Sponsor
it.
the pod.
Yeah, please.
Sponsor us.
I'm not even a permanent part of
We
this
love Game
podcast.
Theory.
I love Game Theory
About to
though.
send them
Been
this
many
one
times.
snippet.
It was the first time I had ever gone. And
Oh,
like,
really?
yeah, that was that then. This was Valentine's Day of like junior year of college, which I guess was like 2023. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah. So we went to Game Theory and we were there for like 3 hours. We were there till it closed. And then we were like, we want to keep hanging out, but also it's a Tuesday. So what's open?
On a Tuesday.
And so we went to I think it was called Urban Cowboy, which was the gay bar over in Fort Worth. So we went there because there was also a drag show happening that
On the
night.
Tuesday.
The bar was empty. It was empty
I saw that place busy.
because it was a
No shade.
Tuesday. It was a Tuesday, and yeah, I also never saw it full. But
Great
it
vibes,
was probably
though.
like
Great
us. It was us, and then like maybe a couple of other people who were very drunk. But we like kind of just like hung out, almost basically had the bar to ourselves, and then just talked about like we're like so like what is this? Like, do you like? We were very much in a way of like because we hadn't fully like talked about what we wanted out of a relationship, like if it was casual, if it was like just like casual dates, or like
I was thinking that.
or like looking for something serious. And I was like, well, like I'm not gonna like, I don't want to date anybody else.
Mm,
And she was like, well, I don't want to date anybody else either.
That's
Okay.
that's kind of smooth.
And then we were like, I was like, so wait. So I don't remember if I asked or if she asked. But
Let us know.
I'll ask her and see what she says.
That's
It just
lovely.
happened.
It was one of those things where
lovely,
we
though.
both mutually were like,
You're like, eh?
and yes, and then I think we did that, and I think she may have said, wait, are you my girlfriend? And I went, yeah.
I mean, so.
I think that's what happened. I'm pretty
that's
sure.
a lovely story.
Yeah, it's a cute little story, and then
Yeah.
and then we also were like, well, I said after that, she was like, wait, so is our anniversary now Valentine's Day? And I said, no.
You said never.
I was like, personally would love for it to not be, so we can also have Valentine's Day separate and also
That's
not
nice.
have to deal with like if we want
Every
to do
other
stuff on our
couple on the
anniversary.
planet,
Yeah,
Yeah.
it can be our anniversary and not like
I'm not gonna
a
lie.
love day.
I'm the kind of lazy person that I'm like, that's a great, easy way to remember. Not that I don't remember my anniversary, but I'm
Very
like,
Abby answer.
it's a nice shortcut
Do
for
you
some
know
people, and
your
I
anniversary
understand.
off the
But
top
I
of your head?
also understand people that don't want that because, yes,
What's the July 8th?
Oh,
I
wait.
remember it.
Yeah.
Oh.
July 8th. It's on my keychain.
My mom's
Aw.
birthday,
We
actually.
made. Oh, really?
Yeah.
Aw, I love Victor's mom. She's the best.
Yeah.
We made. It's so corny. We got paint and put our fingerprints in the shape of a heart.
Is that how it came to be?
And
Wow,
then
that's very cute.
But we're Dobby because Donnie and Abby and Dabby sounded stupid. And
Dabby.
also, I love Harry Potter, so Dobby, it's great.
It's actually wonderful, yeah.
It is. And it has our anniversary on it. So, guess who lost his?
Whoa.
Yeah,
no. I'm shocked you lost it first.
I know.
He lost it first.
He has a massive freaking key ring with like
Okay.
70 keys.
No
And
idea
so-
where that sentence was going.
This is the people that I'm friends with.
These.
Why is it these?
These are the people that
The
I'm
other half was
friends
dead
with.
silent.
Anyways. Yes.
Dude, I'm sorry, just keep, you know, I'm not gonna explain myself, so. Mm-mm. Anyways.
Anyways.
Wonderful stories all around.
Eric, can I ask? Because
I don't know,
now, seeing that
also-
Claire and I have different opinions, whenever you were in a relationship, did you count your anniversary as your first date, or like whenever you decided, like, oh yeah, we can be like a couple?
Total transparency. Don't fully remember.
I don't blame you. I don't blame you.
Real.
You've slept since then. I don't blame you.
I'm trying to think.
What would you do now?
Yeah, what would you do
I
now?
know, well,
I think it is kind of
I think
circumstantial,
also-
like how yours was on Valentine's Day.
it's
Yeah.
also the circumstance of who it is.
Yes.
Because some people care very passionately,
That's
Yes.
and
true.
others do not.
Okay.
So I do believe it was the question rather than like first date,
Okay.
but do not hold me to that.
Okay.
Also, I just want to say, probably close this out like in 5 to 10 minutes because it's kind of running.
Okay.
My camera might die.
We
That's
have
fine.
we were like it's gonna be a mini episode,
And
and
then-
then we just started talking.
We just said full
Yeah.
episode.
Whole episode, guys.
Sometimes all
Okay.
we need is the idea of a podcast to be able to talk to your friends.
I have one last question.
Oh, okay.
I have thoughts and opinions, and my thoughts and opinions have, kind of teeter-tottered on this topic, but I'm pretty much standing firm on my stance.
I'm a little scared.
However, we have people here that have had experiences with this, and we're talking about promise rings. How do we feel about promise rings? Personally, I don't like them because I'm like, no, just give me a real ring. But I've had ones where I'm like, oh yeah, like if you're a couple and you have to like wait for like years and years and years because you're like in school or whatever, like I can kind of get it, but also I'm not in that scenario, so I'm like, no. But we've had people here who have had
I
that.
mean, it was not that. Why are you looking at me?
Because it kind of was.
And
It
was.
kind of was. Then what was it?
To be completely honest, I do not know.
It was like it was some sort of ring.
It was a cheap ring.
It was a cheap ring. And didn't you lose your ring?
Well, it never fit to begin with.
Tragic.
Actually, I love that. I love that so much.
Because it was not for men. And I got
No.
called fat fingers, I guess. I don't know.
No. What do you mean?
I'm sure it is gone. So I don't know.
But in future relationships, how would you feel if someone was like, here?
If you are Sam Evans and I am Quinn Fabray, then that is so cute. If
Are you
not,
Quinn Fabray?
in another lifetime, I am.
Okay.
Otherwise, probably not. I'm not a big jewelry person for one.
Yeah, I think that's the
So I
other
don't
thing.
really,
I have like a few things that I wear sometimes.
And like if I'm wearing a ring on either like hand, I feel like that sends a signal that's not exactly accurate. And I also don't wear any other rings.
But if
So-
you're in a relationship and you wear the ring,
But
it's
then they
sending
look
a
like
signal.
I don't know. I don't know. It looks like it could be like an engagement.
You could wear it on your middle finger. I don't know. There's
I
options.
don't know. I don't. Again, I'm not a jewelry person.
Yes, fair.
I saw a ring.
I like the
day.
sentiment.
The
Don't love the execution.
Yeah, I get it.
I think you can do a promise something else. Or I mean, I don't think you just
Here's
make
a car.
promise.
I saw
I
this
promise
ring.
I'll get you a car.
Underwood, I saw this ring the other day of like Bigfoot. That I'm like, if I had to wear a ring,
I'd
I'm
wear
afraid
that
that
one.
like I'd want this ring. I would
How
want
do you
this
feel
ring.
about promise?
I think it's stupid. I
That's
think
the
it's
biggest
dumb.
promise.
Pretty.
Can you elaborate on that?
Bigfoot ring.
No.
I think they're dumb.
Quick interjection.
Yes.
What is just a refresher for the viewers at home may not remember?
Okay.
Or those in the room who do not.
Of what is a promise
What,
ring?
what does a promise ring supposed to signify again?
So typically, it's supposed to be like, hey, I can't do it right now, but I really want to marry you down the line.
But see, I did not understand that.
But I think
Or
it's
at least
dumb.
like, at
when
least for
you
some
already
people, it's like, I
communicate
want to
that.
be with
Yeah.
And
you.
also, an engagement ring can
It's like a
feel
I-
a
No,
lot,
I
you know,
definitely
like-
not received
It's
a
like
promise
a,
ring.
it's like a, I promise I will, like,
It's in
want to marry you, or like ask you to
it's
marry
an
me.
IOU, if you will.
Type thing.
An IOU.
Is that what it was in Glee?
No.
I thought it was just like I promised like never hurt you or something.
It could be. It can kind of just be whatever you want, to be honest. That's traditionally
say
what
just
they
give me a
are
ring.
kind of for.
I want a ring in general. Like I don't need it.
And I think that's
I
also
promise
something to think
marry
about
you.
is like, if you, I've never had, my boyfriend has never gotten me jewelry, but if he did, like, it's that differentiating between
Damn.
what it is. Claire, thoughts? If Emily's
It
like,
feels very
hey.
juvenile to me.
yeah, I agree.
But also, like, I can understand if people have circumstances where they, like, where it means something to them.
Yeah.
I don't need something to be a symbol.
Mm-hmm.
I think wedding rings are a good, like, wedding rings are a different kind of symbol.
Yeah.
I trust my partner
Yeah.
in what they say to me,
Yeah.
you know? So I'm like, I don't need that, but
Fair.
personally. But I'm not to, like, be like, they're stupid. I just,
Victor.
Nah, they're
I do,
stupid.
they do feel they feel very Glee to me. And I'm like, they're in high school. So,
So if I threw a ring pop at you and was like, Claire, I promise.
You know, that's romantic.
One day.
you can post what they want.
One day. It'll just be you and me forever.
I would love to
I'm,
get that.
Amazing.
I'm Googling it. I feel like that was not the context. So.
In Glee.
Well, wonderful romantic conversation.
Yeah, this really turned into like a romance episode.
It did.
Happy Valentine's, everyone, in March. Wait, in
It's
April.
Isn't it crazy that it's April?
I hate it.
Yes.
Been not a great year so far.
But hey, we're all 23 now.
That's true. Happy 23, everyone.
J's on my feet.
I'll be sure to skip to the end of the podcast and add some more like at the end. Yeah.
Why would you add sound effects when you have me?
It's just 5 minutes of Claire going, boom.
Can you use a Vine boom, Claire? Hold on. Abby, say something funny.
Like actually funny?
Or say something controversial.
Sam was bi in Glee.
Yeah! That's the plot point!
I didn't know that.
I don't think he was with anybody. I think he was just interested.
I think that would have been live stream for me if I remember.
I don't know. Half of Glee is like wiped from my brain.
That must have been a late season. Was that when he was brunette?
Probably.
Cornell Street, we love you too.
I think that's a solid stopping point for our wonderful discussion. We did not find out.
Thank you for
key
coming
Abby's
to
bar.
Abby and Victor's podcast here on Abby's Porch.
Thank you for watching episode 2 of the I Like Movies and Friends podcast.
The Final Thoughts podcast.
Wait, we didn't do final thoughts.
Drew, what are your final thoughts on Abby's birthday celebration?
I think Victor needs to add Abby to the podcast as a co-host because Abby had the idea and used a set location. Anyways.
Whatever.
Thanks for coming to the podcast.
We don't get final thoughts. We're not hosts.
I was saying thanks to them.
Thanks for being born.
Yeah.
I tried.
We make fun of you, but we love you too.
Yeah.
I try.
My life would be so different without you in it.
Mine as well.
Ugh.
I can't imagine the last 11 years without you.
Yeah. The way that we don't even know really how long we've been friends, we're just like, a long time.
One day we just decided that it was going to be 10 years.
We did.
And
We were
then
like, this seems fine.
Yeah.
This seems long enough.
But like when you go to school together for so long and then you did become friends at some point in
You're
like
like,
middle
I
school,
don't
you're
know.
like, it happened.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Been through a lot.
Yeah.
If I may give you an actual compliment on your celebration of
No
your
thanks.
birthday celebration.
I'm okay.
No, I think I very much am very thankful to have you as a friend, Abby. No, it's weird. I've told people this before, but I don't know. I mean, when y'all were kids, y'all remember like how easy it was to kind of like make friends as a kid. I feel like when you
No.
Oh.
My best friend now told me that I was a horrible singer.
I did not.
You like, and I feel like in elementary school, like you have like a different best friend like every year. Like you know.
I
you
literally
have,
The
did.
point I'm making is
That's
that
what I
it was
never
as
did.
easy
I had a
as just
different
like
best friend every
going
year.
up to someone's like, hey, you want to hang out? Or like knocking at someone's door metaphorically and being like, hey, you want to hang out?
Yeah.
Abby, you were literally that person like in college. Like you just literally just like knocking people's doors like, hey, let's hang out. And I'm
Hi,
like,
can you hang out
I
with
could
me?
not.
I have nothing better to do. Please.
I
hang out
don't
with
know
me.
what my college experience would be like without that. So thank you for being born.
In your stinky college room. That it wasn't your fault that it was a stinky college room, but
We're actually gonna cut that last.
no.
Call them out.
No.
Call him out. There's on my side, but no.
You're gonna call. Anyways, thanks for coming, guys.
Thanks for coming to the podcast.
Professional.
Bye.
What do you mean? We're the best friends. We don't argue at all. Thanks for joining us on the porch, I guess. I hope the audio was good, Victor. Have fun listening to this. Bye.